Good morning, everyone. How are you going? Welcome to Tuesday morning and another one of my 9 a.m.-ish catch-ups where I try and give you guys some really useful information around online marketing and how you can do this whole marketing thing a bit better, particularly in times of isolation when it's probably not second nature for people to be communicating online, particularly if you've got like an online, like a physical showroom or a retail space, or you just do a lot of networking and you're used to getting in front of people, face to face. Even if you're a presenter and you're used to speaking on a stage in that more kind of intimate setting rather than what we're doing now, which is all online. So today I said I was going to give you guys a little bit of knowledge around how to do Facebook Lives. And the reason why I chose this is because people really panic when it comes to pushing that go live button. And I thought I'd just give you guys some helpful tips on how to do it and why you should be doing it. So first of all, you should be doing it because it is a really great way to interact with your audience, particularly if you have got a decent sort of following online. The other good reason is that video is around for a very long time. And so I'll get a handful of people turn up on these lives and they'll come and they'll visit and if I'm really lucky, they'll tune in and they'll interact, which is really cool about the Facebook Live. That's probably one of the main reasons why you should do it. And as people come in, you ask them questions, and when you see them come in, you sort of go, "Oh, hi Debbie, thanks for coming in." And if you know that person, you might give them a bit of a plug, or you might ask them a question and encourage them to then make a comment, so then you can respond. And I do these every Monday morning. This is how this all started, is I do a Monday morning marketing blast, I call it, at 9 a.m. And I regularly have regulars come on and they will ask questions. And the whole point of that is to create some kind of engagement, and then I will speak to topics that I've thought of during the week, which have been common themes that might be going wrong for my audience, people that I've been dealing with. Or I might get a private message from someone who says, "Hey, next week, can you talk about this topic?" And ever since we've had this whole isolation thing happen with the pandemic, so I've been talking around online marketing non-stop because it's top of mind for everybody. Hey Karen, how you going? And I'll give Karen a plug. She's been an awesome follower. Comes in pretty much every morning around 9 a.m.-ish, like I do, because she sees the value, and it's the sense of community, and we chat and she asks questions and I support her stuff, she supports my stuff. So that's the beauty of doing the Facebook Lives. And the whole thing with Facebook Live is that it's supposed to be casual and friendly and showing your personality and really giving people an essence of who you are. And I think that's what freaks most people out. And I don't know why that is, because all we want to do is do work with people that we know, like, and trust, and who we get a really good feeling for. And the best way to get a feeling for someone is just get in front of them via a video, and particularly a live video where they can sort of like chat with you and they can just get a feel for your vibe and if they like you or not. And I've got to say that it is totally cool if somebody doesn't like you. And I think that's the biggest hurdle for people doing a Facebook Live or a video in general, is that they're frightened about being criticized or being judged. And I can guarantee you there'll be people that come across me and will judge me. And whatever it is, it can be something that I can control or something that I can't control. But the whole point is, it doesn't really matter, because there's a whole lot of people that I engage with as well that I know that like me. And it's the big thing, the hurdle we have to get over is, it doesn't matter if people like you or don't like you. It's just if your crowd resonates with you, and to find your crowd quicker and faster. So if it takes you a long time to find who your audience is, that's not a good thing for your business. So in actual fact, doing a Facebook Live and coming live to people like this and just showing them the essence of who you are and your style, you'll just find your audience faster. And that's a good thing when it comes to marketing. Now for me, like, you get used to my Facebook Lives, I drink a cup of tea throughout all of them, because that's me. I'm a tea drinker, and I'm casual and I'm cruisy, and I like a good laugh, and I love if you put a comment in there that I get to laugh at. And I like to be spontaneous, and I really like to be friendly, and I like you to be friendly back to me. And my relationships in business are exactly like that. So if I can get that across to you in my Facebook Lives, well then I'm winning, because I'm attracting the exact audience that I want to get. So I can only encourage you guys to do exactly the same thing. Now I use Karen as an example because she's online and watching. So she's a trained counsellor and a human behaviouralist specialist. I've got that right now, Karen. So her approach is going to be still friendly. Hey Blaine, how you going? Her approach is still going to be really friendly and very warm and approachable, but it's probably not going to be quite as kind of casual as my approach, because she's coming from a really high level of authority, and she's trusted with your innermost secrets and thoughts and feelings. So she needs to have a level of sensibility about her when she's doing her posts, but she still wants to be friendly and human too. So think about what your approach is with the way you're doing things. Now, Blaine, you're in the camper trailer industry, you're a sales rep, so your approach is going to be very family-ified, very, very casual and relaxed and informative and full of information. You're going to be somebody's best mate. You're going to talk about camping stories. You're going to be large and full of life. And that's exactly how you are in your approach. So you should be doing Facebook Lives too about selling, the camper trailers and caravans, because you want to get that essence across. You want to be that person that people resonate with. So my top tips then, I'll run into those for how to run a Facebook Live, is do a lot of the background stuff before you press the go live button. I think that's the problem. People sort of get their phones out and they fumble around and they go shit and a bit of Dutch courage, and they just press go live and then they go and they do it and they kind of they ramble on and they mutter stuff. Nobody turns up because nobody even knew that it was on. Then it feels like a big fat failure, and then they freak out and then they delete it and then they never do it again. So the whole thing with a Facebook Live is the preparation that goes on behind the scenes. I'm not talking about hours and hours and hours. I'm just talking about just 5 minutes. So these are my notes that I've written for today. They're on a particularly small piece of paper that was sitting around on my desk because I couldn't find a big piece of paper. And basically my first point is, what's your purpose? So, and I'll just, if I need that to go to, I'll quickly glance down there. Right, what's your purpose? So that's my first point that I'm to talk about. You need to know what your purpose is for your Facebook Live. Now for me, it's just to basically keep the conversation alive every day with my potential clients. It's to be seen, because I feel like this is an absolute golden time for people who are business leaders. And I talked about it yesterday about the difference between business leaders and business owners. Business leaders are showing up every day at a time like this. And they're visible and they're out there and they're sharing crap tons of information that is going to help their audience get through this really difficult time. So that's my purpose. You need to understand what your purpose is for why you would be doing a Facebook Live. Like for Blaine, it would be to move product, but it would also be to build your personal brand. You're a sales rep, so you want people to think of you the next time they're out there spending 50 grand, 60 grand on a caravan or a camper trailer. They're thinking of you because you're the guy that comes to them every week with really helpful camping tips, for instance, in that space. And you've developed a personality and you've got that rock star presence around you. And it's called creating a massive connection with your audience. So that would be your purpose of doing a Facebook Live. So you sort of need to be really attached to what your purpose is. Because the whole reason why people get really tremendous nerves around creating Facebook Live videos, or any video for that matter, is because they're not attached to what the purpose is. They're not really emotionally attached to what they're doing, so therefore they're just nervous about doing it and feeling self-conscious. Now, I'm incredibly attached to what I'm doing because I really wholeheartedly believe in connection online. I wholeheartedly want to help people in this time and give them the information that they need to do their business really good online. Because a whole lot of businesses are going to fall over in the next few months, and some have already fallen over, and part of the reason why is because they weren't as attached to their purpose as what they should be. Because when you know why you do something and you're communicating that message really loud and proud to your audience, then they know why you're doing something, and you can switch that go live button and you can talk from the heart and you can have a relationship with your audience and you can have fun with it, and people will switch on. And I can tell you, I talked about this yesterday as well, it might only look like there's a handful of people on when you're live, but that's because we're leading busy lives, and I get it. People just can't come because I'm on right at this minute. I'd love it if they did, but they don't. But I'll boost this video for $5 and then I will get up to 1,000, sometimes even 2,000 views of the video throughout the next couple of days. And then the amount of through plays will be in the hundreds as well. And then I know that it works because when I see people or talk to people or they contact me or private message me, they refer back to the video. Then I also repurpose these live videos by I save the link, and then when I send out my e-newsletter, which I'm sending on out this morning, when I send that out to my audience, I put the links into each of the relevant videos with the content. So I'll share this one later on this morning. I'll say, hey guys, if you're nervous about doing Facebook Lives, check out my Facebook Live that I did just this morning, which tells you exactly how to do it and how to get the confidence to do it. Because it's not a matter of, oh my God, it's just too tricky to work the technology. It's a matter of, I'm too nervous to do it. So the big clincher is that if you're connected to why the hell you're doing it in the first place, you've got a much better chance of pressing go live. The next thing is, connect to it. understand who your audience is. That's the next thing you need to really do is, well, who's going to be on here? So I know this is Facebook. So this is actually, my Facebook audience is completely different to my database who I go to through my email marketing. It's very different. So even though some of my clients are still on here on Facebook, they're not checking it throughout the day. You know, they're male, they're very busy, they're running companies right now, they're excruciatingly busy with like totally pivoting their services and doing things really differently. They're having to lay off staff, they're having to, you know, find extra money from other sources, they're refinancing, like they're really busy. They don't give a shit about how to do Facebook Lives right this minute. But I do know that they'll want their person in marketing to learn. So when I send out the email to them, they'll flick that across to their email, their marketing assistant and say, hey, watch this. We should be doing more of this. We should be getting our sales assistant onto this. Make sure we're doing this. So do you see, like you really need to understand your audience intimately, because maybe it's not that direct point with who you're going to be talking to that's your end audience person. It could be your connectors, other people that you're connecting with on your Facebook Lives. It's really critical that you understand who your audience is and you tailor the information to them, and then you put it under their nose repeatedly if they miss it the first time. Because video is so beautiful, it's around for the longest time. So, you know, keep with your videos, keep building the diary, the catalogue of it, the library, keep showing up, keep giving it. Karen was talking yesterday, some of her videos go back to, they're in the 5,000 and 6,000s of rewatches. And she might have created that content a year ago, you know. It has a long lifespan and you never know who's watching it and where it leads to. That's the other point I want to make. It takes 20 touch points for people to see you and feel you and get to know you and like you before they'll even consider even talking to you, let alone doing business with you. That's 20 touch points. That is a hell of a lot of network meetings or sales calls if you're doing it all the long, slow way. But if you're dropping Facebook Live videos as part of your strategy every few days or even just once a week, it's going to get it there faster if you do it that way. So just consider how frequently you need to be in front of somebody for them to be comfortable with you now if they don't actually know you. Have a plan. So here's my plan. So don't have a script. Have a plan. Just have bullet points. Like you're talking to the things that you're an expert about. So make sure you start off when you do your Facebook Lives speaking about something that you're very comfortable talking about. So for me, this is an easy peasy topic. You know, I've done other topics earlier last week where I had to do a little bit of research and I had a bigger list and a little bit more dot pointed out just to have it there. So make sure you know the first ones that you do, you're talking about something that you're super duper comfortable talking about. So you can't mess it up. It's something that you would be talking to your audience about all the time. So just be structured, have a plan. Do not write it out word for word. If you're crazy vulnerable and you feel like you're going to mess it up, do some practice runs. There's no shame in practicing, and just be really casual and comfortable and just really structure it so that it makes sense. You take people just like any old story that you would tell somebody. It starts at the top and goes down the beginning. So you introduce what you're going to be doing, you set the theme, set the tone, let people know who this is for. Then you step down where you start to talk about, the guts of the information, like give away, 1 or 2 or 3 really good tips that people are like, man, this is great, keep them engaged. If people come in, welcome them, say g'day, like I have done in this video. If people ask a question, and I encourage you guys to ask a question, answer that question, sort of like butt in, they're sort of butting into your conversation, but that's how a normal free-flowing conversation works. So then answer their questions, come back to, if it's too long and not really related to your video, what you're talking about, just say, I'll come back to you on that one that's not related, but if it is definitely related, then answer the question. Because once you answer one question, it usually creates a flurry of more questions, which is kind of what you want. So if you guys have any questions, ask away. Practice and then hit go. So all the old usual things is like, make sure you've got neat clothes on, that you look kind of like how people are used to seeing you. You're part of your personal brand. And this is something that I'm going to find really interesting too, because a lot of my videos I was doing originally when I would be going out and doing meetings, so I'd be like, oh, cool, got my nice outfit on, hair, makeup done, great. So I'd make sure I shot a Facebook Live on that day, but we're not going out anymore now. So I've been shooting my Facebook Live videos in work, like in running gear, in t-shirts and shorts, all sorts of casual stuff. And I actually looked back at them and thought, oh man, they're a little bit too casual. So I've actually sort of gone back to just wearing something kind of smart casual, because really understand what your brand is and kind of what your audience is expecting from you. So I would look stupid sitting here this morning all dolled up like I was going out, you know, with a full face paint, makeup on, the fancy hair. You know, I would look really ridiculous sitting here when you know full well that this is the third day in a row that I've been inside and haven't even gone outside. So, you know, it's got to be appropriate to the times, but also, you know, you can't be too sloppy. Unless, of course, that's your whole sell, and then that's totally cool too. I saw a colleague of mine give a video the other day, and she's not at the Facebook Live. She recorded it and then posted it up. But she was the full war paint, the full hair, the full outfit. I just sort of thought, it's not really authentic to the times of right now. And people, even if it doesn't, they're not thinking that and feeling that, if they're not thinking that out loud, they'll feel that. So be very conscious around your brand and getting that right, but also be conscious around, you know, what resonates with people right now, with the way that you look and the way that you're presenting. Also, your language is really important, isn't it? You know, Karen will agree with me on this. Be really sensitive, you know, a lot of people are really traumatized, so yeah, thanks Karen, yeah, same, yeah. So I'm very conscious that I have a very positive attitude. I've done a lot of personal work on myself with Karen, and so I've sort of processed what's happening to us. I've summed it all up. I've kind of got an idea of it. There are times when I feel quite a little bit stressed and quite, you know, anxious, but I'm able to process that really quickly and put it away and get on with it. And being positive is how I respond to these situations. That's why I'm doing all these videos. I'm being very positive and very helpful. But I have to appreciate that a lot of people aren't at the same stage where I'm at. So I have to be very sensitive to them and speak to where they're feeling, where their heart's at right now too, because that's still my target audience. So just be really sensitive that where you are might not be where other people are as well in a time like this. And you don't want to ever come across as being uncaring. So, you know, you could be like me and have a very positive mindset too, and you want to attract other people with positive mindsets, but, you know, be sensitive that you still have an audience that's coming along. So I understand that a lot of these online marketing videos that I've created, people aren't ready for yet. But I'm creating this massive library so that in a week or two, when I'm guessing we're probably going to be in full lockdown and people are in their homes and they're a little bit more comfortable because we know exactly what the parameters are now. Like, it's very uncertain at the moment. I know that people will be all over those videos, and I'll have the library there in current time. You know, I'll have something like 14 or 15 videos there for them to reference that have just been made in the past couple of weeks. So that's why it's really important to get on now and create this content. And my last point was, which I've already touched on, is just get your audience involved. So if you can, get them talking and communicating. Might take a few goes, particularly if you're only just starting out and some people aren't used to seeing you online. I got jealous of James the other day because he did his first Facebook Live in ages, and he got a heap of interaction and a heap of likes, and people right into it because it was a novelty. It was really nice to see him, and he was giving some awesome video tips. Actually, I should borrow one of his video tips. So see how I'm framed in the shot right now. See how it's portrait and not landscape because I'm using my phone. His tip is also, you're supposed to wear the subject of the video. So a lot of people are like doing Facebook Lives where they're like right back here and they're really tiny and they've got a whole lot of background up above their head, and it looks really lame. So make sure that you're taking up most of the frame. You've got a pleasant enough background. The lighting's really good. Like, I've got my light source sort of, I'm sitting on the stairwell, I've got the back door open, so I've got nice fresh air and nice natural light. I could pull out my vanity light as well, my ring light, and I could have that behind here and shining on me if I needed extra light. But light is really imperative, but sound is also really imperative. Like, I could have gone for my walk and done this out while I'm walking, but I'm quite concerned that the sound, there's still a lot of cars out on the roads, I'm concerned that the sound would mess up the quality of this. And also, while you're walking and talking, you're focusing and concentrating these days on not walking into people, so your 100% focus should be on what you're doing. So I suggest that when you do it, is that you have I've got my phone on a little stand, or you could just have it on a desk with a pot plant behind it and just balance it on there so it's looking at you, and just so you're not even having to concentrate on holding the phone. And then that way you've got your hands free. You've got your notes here. You can have that, you know, on your lap, and you can just refer to it. You can even say to people, I'm just referring to my notes. Keep it as casual as possible. Have a cup of tea if that's your thing. That makes people feel like they're having more of a chat. And just relax into it and practice and just do them. And if it's really shit, delete it. 4 people will have seen it. It's no big deal. But all in all, don't be too harsh on yourself. This is a wonderful opportunity to build rapport, be friendly, let people see who you are. And I've been saying this a few times in some of the videos. This is an incredibly emotional time for people, and they will remember who showed up and who helped them and who was there and who was positive and who brightened up their day and who gave them good information to help them get through this period. So you want that person to be you. So please do some Facebook Lives. I would love to see from the guys that have turned up today. I'd love to see a Facebook Live out of you guys in the next couple of days, or even just today. Just do it, even if it's 1 minute. I ramble on too long, I reckon. But just do it. And then you can save it, share it, and do another one tomorrow. People will appreciate it. And you'd be shocked how many people are looking, and they're looking on in silence. Thank you, Karen. Okay. Yes, please. Your posts are amazing. You post prolifically. You should attach that with a Facebook Live as well, so people get to see, your personality. And that's actually what brought me to Karen a year and a half ago as a client. She was doing regular Facebook Lives every Sunday night. I would tune in, I would watch them. They were amazing. Her posts are amazing, but when you see somebody actually deliver their content and you get a feel for them, I promise you'll see one from me today. Excellent. I promise you, if somebody is thinking about using you and then they actually see you in live delivering, they're going to come a lot closer to using you as a client or buying your products or your services, because they develop a relationship with you. So anyway, hope you have a great day. I want to see that Facebook Live. And if you've got any questions, ask in the comments. You've run out of time now. Maybe it'll pop up just before I go. But if not, I want to see your Facebook Lives, and send me a private message if you do have some questions around this. Some people are incredibly fearful. I'm really happy to have a chat to you about it. And my motto is, perfectly imperfect. Remember that when you're making it. I know that really helped a couple of girls in my connection marketing group, which my online course is now online, connectionmarketing.online. It's up and running if you wanted to look at that. And I've got my webinar tomorrow. I almost forgot to give it a free plug. So I'll put the link to that in the notes if you're interested in doing that with me. It's Reinvent, Connect and Amplify is going to be the theme, where we talk about businesses that are pivoting, and we talk about how to create connection and how to amplify that message and do really well, come out the other side of this, and maybe even have a whole new audience and a whole new following for having done so much online stuff. All right, chat to you tomorrow. See you at 9. Bye.